Hello there! So, some people who don't usually watch my content have been mass disliking the two videos on the bow glitch. So, one thing I want to point out is, these people who are screeching that this breaks PvP clearly have not been testing this. Now, there's a couple of things that it comes to this. When you actually start the first roll, before you can even swap the spell, you have to take a few steps. So then you'll have to roll and go into Lightning Arrow. And then, before you roll again, you have to select the spell. You can't just change it after you've rolled. You have to select it before you roll. So if I roll, set it up, got the Lightning Arrow, switch to WOG, roll again, I now can't suddenly med heal. It's always going to have to be the WOG after the second roll. And I'm not going to be able to go back to regular old Lightning Arrow. And if I try swapping spells during the roll, it actually drops the cast. So you have to select what you want before the second roll. And then you're locked into that until you roll again. So if I was to set it up to get my L2, get my Lightning Arrow up, and I want to do Bountiful Light, I roll, I've got Bountiful Light, there it is. But if I wanted to suddenly swap from that Bountiful Light to WOG, I would need to roll again. So the smart ones amongst you might suddenly start realizing that this isn't an unstoppable OP broken way of destroying the game. It's actually a 50-50. Yes, they've added a 50-50 to Lightning Arrow, which means you can't hard counter it by running at them with Lightning Lothric Shield and going for a backstab. So, if they're close and they're setting up WOG, then you know that that WOG is coming. And you can just go to distance and you can throw a bomb or shoot them with a crossbow. Praise the sun. If they roll again to swap it to a Lightning Arrow, you're then able to run at them because now they can only shoot a Lightning Arrow and not use WOG. It's not that broken. So there you go. There's ways to play around it. I've done the testing. Don't listen to people that are hailing this as the death of the game because they don't understand how to do PvP and they haven't bothered testing. All that said, however, what if I told you there was a way to make the 50-50 worse? Who remembers the white-haired talisman that used to be useful for the old Sacred Flame glitch? Well, if you make a build that can use WOG, Lightning Arrow, and Sacred Flame, and let me just throw on a healing spell for good measure, you can make this 50-50 a whole lot worse. Because rather than just having a WOG or a Lightning Arrow, you can now aggressively roll at people and either go for an instant WOG that you could be using to dodge attacks, or an instant Sacred Flame that even if they hit you, immediately casts. This is where the 50-50 may become slightly broken. Not from what people had been saying to this point, but from using it with Wrath of the Gods and Sacred Flame. So you can be freely rolling around with Wrath of the Gods or Sacred Flame, and the second they hit you, they can go for it. The only real way that you're going to be able to play around this is to have an exact idea of your opponent's stamina. Now, if we were playing something like Sekiro or Neo where you could see it, that would be a whole lot easier. But this is going to make for some interesting PvP, to say the least, where you're having to watch their stamina and FP.